Hello everyone and welcome to episode 12 of Mentos Plays Rogue Legacy Blindly. Uh, we aren't quite exactly where we left off because I had to restart the game to get sound working again. But now that it is, which I think actually might not have been resetting the game needed, I think my headset was just turned down all the way. But regardless, anyway, we're jumping right back into where we are now. To where we were when we left off. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure my reset screen region was working right. And we are going to try yet again. If you saw the stream VOD slash less episode, you know that we got to the Maya boss a couple times and didn't do half bad against it. In fact, the last time we fought it as the Lich King, we actually did pretty good. We were pretty close to beating it, but unfortunately we just didn't have the attack damage to kill it before it got rid of our health. Whoop, we're going to want to hide from this guy. So yeah, we're going to try to get back to him as soon as possible. Try to... Oh, that was close. Try to beat this guy as soon as possible. I would like to start exploring the dungeon as soon as I can, but obviously I can't really justify that when we can't even beat the boss of the Maya yet. So we will be heading upwards as always. Kind of the opposite of many roguelikes of sorts. You know, we actually had a little bit of a conversation about this in, what was it? I think it was in the Greenlight Super Show about the concept of, you know, a roguelike or a roguelike-like or roguelite or stuff like that. And I think the main core cause of the discourse, as I mentioned during that conversation, is pretty much that there are a certain subset of people, of which I'm kind of, to some extent, including myself, who thinks of roguelike not as a description of the game, as I think a lot of people who do the whole roguelike-like thing do, but think of it as kind of having evolved into its own genre, which I think that opens it up to a lot more types of games fitting into it. So I think a lot of the kind of disagreement about what's actually a roguelike and what's a roguelike like and so on and so forth, I think a lot of that comes from, I can't believe I just got hit by that thing again. I thought I was going to die in one hit. I don't actually know what class I am right now. Oh, I'm an Archmage? Why did I take an Archmage? I guess it means I should be using my magic a bit more. I could use Flame Shield is actually pretty good. And we do find the Maya pretty quick. But yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to kind of a difference of definition. One group looking at it as a description of the game, and the other group looking at it more as a genre, a kind of more recently established genre. But I'm personally of the group that thinks that it's not really that important to differentiate between a game that is perfectly roguelike or pseudo roguelike. I mean, this one I don't really qualify as a full roguelike, honestly, just because it's not quite permadeath as can be expected in a roguelike. I mean, there is permadeath, but you get persistent upgrades, which kind of makes it a little bit something different. So I don't really qualify this necessarily as a roguelike completely, but I don't know, I just said roguelike without really thinking about it, and decided to kind of put the thoughts out there, because I thought that it was an interesting conversation, although I obviously can't recount the whole thing. Because I know that there are a lot of people out there who really do get kind of heated about what's a roguelike like, etc. And I think that it's kind of just a difference of definition causing all that kind of friction. I think that's kind of odd. There aren't many things that have that kind of touchiness to them when the people are describing them. Oh, I messed up on that. Oh well, I'm not a big fan of Archmages. If I remember right, I just took that because it was the least painful of the traits that were available. OCD, EDS. I don't really want EDS for this boss. A nearsighted Barbarian King, a Spell Sword who's Dwarfism and ADHD. Let's go with the Spelunket. EDS honestly isn't the best trait to have while fighting this Maya boss, because if you don't know, EDS means that while you're attacking, you can turn around, which is really good in a lot of situations. But the Maya boss, because of the way that it follows you, it's actually really helpful to attack and then start walking backwards as a way to avoid running into it while still getting damage in. So I'm not sure how I feel about taking a character that's not going to be able to pull that off, but obviously if you didn't see the last episode, we did find an extra vault room for our bracers, or yeah, I think it was for the bracers that we got a vault rune first, and I replaced the bounty rune that was on there with the vault rune. So we do make a little bit less gold per turn, but because of that I was able to put that vampirism rune we got on my helmet a long time ago. I was able to put that on finally. So now I'm regaining 3 HP per kill, which is obviously much more than what I was getting before with 1. Well, not much more, but all things considered, it adds up really quick. I have done it. I have defeated the dungeon's master. All that remains is to enter the throne room. After this, the king will honor me for my valor and acknowledge me as a rightful successor to the throne, not my faceless siblings. So the king is getting kind of like, and the prince is getting kind of like even crazier than he had been. He's starting to just say that his siblings are faceless. He's not even acknowledging that they once were people that he knew well. This is a Doomscape. That's actually kind of rare to run into on the castle. But, yeah, so, I mean, he's clearly losing his mind. My guess is that when he gets through the castle, when he beats the throne room, he's going to go insane and become the final boss. I know I've mentioned that before, but with, that was actually a really good use of Downstrike. But with the, kind of more recent revelations, I guess you could say, this is a fairy chest. A grace rune, not that useful, but I don't have any runes on the cape, so I could always put it on there, but I'm actually not a big fan of the grace rune, because it means that you fight easier enemies and get less gold out of it. I'd rather fight the regular strength enemies and get more gold out of it. But, yeah, so I know I've mentioned that before, but the more that these little journal entries go on, the more I'm becoming convinced that this prince is going to be our final boss, having kind of been overtaken by the castle and changed over the years before we run into him. Obviously, with all of our ancestors having gone through, we aren't going nearly as mad as he would have, because we aren't going through the whole thing on our own. So that's just my theory crafting of the story. I hope you enjoyed that brief look into what's going on in my mind. I know that I've said it before, so it's probably not all that interesting by this point. But these guys are kind of annoying because they're not difficult, they just get in the way. There we go, that was a beautiful jump. And we have found the Maya very quickly yet again. I'm going to take that HP to get almost back to full health. Now, we are going to have a little bit more struggle on this run, probably, than we did on the last one, just because we are playing as a Spelunker, which has lower attack damage. But we're still killing things pretty quickly. I should have struck that chest before I walked into it. A Ranger chest plate, that could be good for us. We're going to need some more equip load to use it, probably, though. Here we got this big old floating skull, who is not a threat at all. One of these things, which actually died in one hit. I'm kind of surprised by that. And we got a question mark rune up here, which is another journal entry for us. Journal entry number 22. I sit here making my final preparations. All that lays between me and the lord of this castle is the golden doors. There is a nervousness in my body that I cannot quell. Is this fear or excitement? All I know is that my journey is finally reaching an end. I have almost forgotten why I entered this castle in the first place, but I remember now. I have bested my siblings. I will save the king, and leave this castle a greater man than when I entered. My family will get the honor they so rightfully deserve. Now I enter the throne room. So I wonder if there are going to be any more journal entries following that up or not. I could easily see an argument being made for there not being any more after that. Obviously wanting to fight the boss, is there really going to be another journal from him in here? But Take these things out in a nice orderly fashion. Oops. Take some stupid damage because I didn't downstrike again. This is a bad room. I just want to get out of here real quick. Hopefully the boss isn't through that path. There is a wolf up there, but he's not really a threat so long as he can't get down here for me. These guys can make you jump a really long ways if you attack them. There we go. Now Mr. Wolf is still trapped up there, and I can just kind of jump up and slice him from below. Get some HP back. Ooh, that wolf could be an issue. This guy, I would like to kill when his ball is down in the ground. These guys, obviously, I can continue my normal strategy of just bashing the shield until they die. Oops, I killed that one in a bad time. I thought he would take one more hit. And that guy's spike ball got away too. And now I'm low on health. And I just jumped right onto the dog and died. Ay ay ay. So let's choose our heir. We got a spelunker who is afraid of chickens, a dementia-stricken, far-sighted assassin, and an ADHD spell sword. Unfortunately, we're going to go with the spelunker, which is a pain because we're going to have to fight any of the chickens we come across. This guy, we wanted to look at his chest plate, the new one, is plus 13 armor over what we've currently got. So that's obviously a good thing. We still have the weight capacity to carry it, so why not? Anything that's going to help us survive longer is well worth it. It does seem like we have changed from metal armor to leather, and that seems like kind of a detriment in terms of armor, not a positive, but hey, I'm not one to judge. So unfortunately, all these chickens are going to be enemies to us, which obviously is not a great thing for trying to avoid damage. There is a question mark down there. I know that I'm trying to go up to get to the Maya, but let's see if we can't find a way to get down there. That was stupid of me, because I just kind of stood there and took that damage. Is the path there from this room? It could be. That was a perfectly placed place to stand. That was probably the most confusing way I could have said that as well. But everything is dying very quickly, of course. And this guy is gone. Whoop! Don't want to leave that gold coin behind. I do kind of wish that the coins would stay in place when you... Ooh! You know what? Let's try to fight these guys. I feel like I can take them. That's one down. This guy's become angrier now. He's throwing out like 5 or 6 bones at once. But he's also not really being that much of a threat to me, because I can easily stand between where the bones land, kill him, and we do get a chest out of it that's going to have some stat upgrades. Oh, not a stat upgrade, just a whole bunch of gold. I think usually when I've had those... Whoops, that was stupid. Anyway, we're going to go back this way, and go to the right here real quick just to collect this chest. There shouldn't be anything too threatening in here. But yeah, was it worth it? Yes, it was, because I didn't get hit in that room. My stupid damage afterwards aside, the actual fight against that mini-boss was well worth it for the amount of gold we got. We got at least 1 diamond out of that, as well as a bunch of coins. We got another chest in this room. It's nice being here in the castle where we don't have to worry about every chest turning to attack us. I was really surprised last run when we got one mimic that was hanging out directly over top of a regular chest. That was actually a really smart enemy placement. And here we got this room. I don't want to give up 25% of my gold right now. I have yet to win at that, and I don't really want to take my chances at it when I have a lot of gold already. I fought hard for that gold. I should probably save it so I don't lose it all and end up regretting my choice. There's a chicken. You know, I don't know if the chickens can actually hurt you. I think I have run into them before and they did, but I'm not positive on that. Go die. And this is going pretty well so far. Even if we do die, we should be able to upgrade at least our attack strength once, if not more. Well, more options. I don't think we could upgrade our attack strength more than once for this much gold. But by the time we die, we should have more than enough to upgrade that at least once as well as something else. We are going to slide over to this side. There is a Ghastly hiding up here. There's an Ice Mage, another one. This guy almost tricked me. Let's see. Down here, there's a Candlestick. We do have a chest probably in the room right above here. One in the room right above the other exit for sure. Go away. Let's see now. We are doing pretty well on our health as well. I think the armor up as well as... Actually, that's another stat that we could really focus on upgrading a bit is our armor. It's a stat that gives you inherent armor, which is something I haven't actually upgraded more than once, I think. So it's probably a good decision to get it. You know, before I go up to the Maya, I do want to drop down and go check out what that chest in that other room is. It's probably not anything too important, but it could be a difference maker, I guess. Probably not, because I don't think the gray chest and the regular brown chest really have any direct benefit. But they do have long-term benefit, both in terms of blueprints and money. So it was worth a little bit of backtracking. Obviously, we're going to try to use up the same strategy I used on that nearly successful Lich King run, where I'm going to try to teleport back and raise my health up to full before I fight the boss. Not sure how it'll work out for us necessarily, but we can see. What's down here? This is just a random Maya room. I can't believe I just jumped into that spike. That room that I just passed up does lead to a fairy chest room. It might be worth going into at that rate. This guy isn't going to do anything to me, as long as I don't stupidly knock myself into the spike ball while attacking him. Or do I did last run, or a couple runs ago, and just kind of jump into him without attacking. Let's go up this way. There's a question mark room over there, which could be useful for us. Obviously, anytime that you can find one of the healing rooms or anything like that, it's a big help. Go away. No, I didn't want you to do that. I wanted you to die first. And you, Mr. Skull, I don't worry about, because you can only attack in straight lines, and that makes you not that big of a threat. The whole reason I beat the forest boss so easily was because he attacked so predictably. Journal entry number 23. I never knew what treasure lay in this castle. I knew only that it would cure the king. Who could have suspected it would be the Fountain of Youth? I expected a monster to greet me at the dais, a foe of unimaginable strength. I imagined it would take all my strength to best him. But when I entered the castle and saw my father, the king, sitting atop the dais with goblet in hand, I knew all was lost. He would never die, and I would never be heir. There are no words to express what I feel. Well, it has suddenly made more sense for our current boss to be named Ponce de Leon. For those of you unaware, I don't know how many people that might be, but for those of you who are unaware, Ponce de Leon is a famous explorer who went searching for the Fountain of Youth. So it does make sense that if that's what's hidden in that room, that he would be someone who had gone to the castle and been kind of corrupted and held behind. So it seems like we are not going to be fighting the prince as I thought, but perhaps we will be fighting the king, which we don't really know anything about him, but... So I'm curious then, what happens when the king sees his son having gotten through all of his defenses and finding the Fountain of Youth? Does he get mad? Is he proud of his son for getting up there? Does he fight him and try to defend his fountain and his life? Or does he allow his son to take over as heir? We shall find out on the next episode of Prince's Journal Entries. Or perhaps when we fight the final boss. Whichever the case may be. We'll find out at some point, I'm sure. This is a boss room, mini boss room, not boss room. I could try to beat these guys, I've done it before, but I would rather preserve my health and try to find the boss. There is only one other exit out of this room. There's a room with a chest down here. Do need to kill this archer. That is a Doomtrit. And I am probably going to die because these higher level paintings have been royal assholes to me. Learn the nuances of your spell to maximize their potential. Sure, because I use spells so often. An Archmage who is colorblind and dwarfism. No thank you. ADHD nearsighted. No thank you. I guess we're going to be the assassin. So with 4,952 gold, we are going to up our attack strength. Let's up our armor. Why not? With 1227, we still have a couple things we can do. Crit chance up, crit damage up. Let's do crit chance. And that leaves us with 17 gold, which I am more than happy to give 88% of to Sharon. Let's just run right over here. Depending on... Oh, I'm sorry. Depending on how this run goes, we may be... this may be the last run of the video. I'm guessing that I won't die quick enough for us to need to have another run in this video, but it's very possible, so I won't necessarily rule out the possibility. This game is hard enough where the chances of you dying aren't always 0. And let's see, shift, plus 15% crit chance, plus 125% crit damage, low HP, MP, and strength. But we do have like a 1 in 4 chance of getting a crit, or 1 in 5 chance, I guess, actually, now I think about what the number actually read as. For some reason I thought for a second it said 25, but now I thought about it and realized it said 21. So we do have about a 1 in 5, a little bit better chance to get a crit, which means that we will be doing some decent damage. You know what, I'm going to take my chance on you, Mr. Statue. Don't screw me over. Hermes boots, that's actually really good. Thank you. So now if we come across any of the fairy chests that don't take damage, we can obviously activate our smoke form, use that to our advantage. It could come in handy during our Maya boss if we get to a situation where we crap, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, where we need to dodge the fireballs. It could come in handy to kind of get ourselves out of dodge when we don't have much room to move. We found a carnival. I'm not sure which one this one's going to be. Let's see how good you are at skills. You only get 1 shot, but it's free of charge. 5 axes to destroy as many targets as possible. Sure. If I had a spell sword right now, that would be really easy because I could make giant axes. And nowhere near enough targets destroyed. Well, actually that was kind of close. Well, no, because we need to get down to 10 targets. I take that back. So, I mean, it was kind of close, but not very close. We did get a lot of gold out of it, so I don't really care that we didn't get the main prize. We want to go up when we get over to the chance to go up over here. Gora Rules is now playing Borderlands 2. I'm assuming that shows up on my recording, so I might as well read it. Because why not? And we're going to go through all of this. I am really hoping that the Maya lies at the top of this tower here. Haha, the Maya, which is the tower at the top of this tower. Ha 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 ha. That's so punny. Okay, let's see now. We're going to go to the right here. We're going to duck under that guy. And it just randomly disappeared, which is kind of strange to me. They do that sometimes. Sometimes those spike balls, the morning stars, they just kind of disappear and die, and I have no idea why that happens. Get a couple of extra gold bags, that's not bad. You do want to go back to the left a bit now so we can get oop, didn't quite make it. Ooh, there's a chest all the way on the left. I didn't know that. Let's open this and we get some more gold. And we're going to head up this way to fight another room. Ghastlies, 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 Ghastlies. So there are a couple of chests in this room. There are some annoying enemies, but nothing that's really going to cause me a problem. Or at least nothing that should cause me a problem. Our vampirism is definitely paying off. I do want to get more vampire runes. But for the time being, I think that we are doing much better than we were just by having the one in the balance rune. Honestly, I would like to have 4 pieces of equipment with vampire runes when I'm trying to make progression. Just so that I could have either 4 or all 5 with vampire runes when I'm trying to make progression for the sake of, obviously getting as much health back as possible. But that might not even become possible until we're already on the trip to the dungeon, since I am very close to that point as it is. That was really close. Took some damage there. Take that out quick, and now we can come back down here and kill this guy who had his back to me like an idiot. There we go. So now once again, if we find the boss and we're low on HP, we are going to teleport back to the castle. And then go through some more rooms there until we find another teleporter when our health is full. And then from there we will be able to teleport right back to the boss and go take it on. This is a room that I haven't run into directly before. Lots of gold, no health ups, which is unfortunate. Granted, my health is in the worst of positions right now. It could just be better. I want the skeleton to come to me. There we go. Now I can activate this wolf, who did do damage to me because I was an idiot, but I took him out just as easily. We get a blueprint, ranger bracers. The bracers I don't really find all that worth spending money on. They raise your magic stat, but since I don't really use magic, it seems like it's pointless to keep those up to date with the strongest ones I have. I'm sure something could be said for the fact that I don't use magic being a negative and hurting me in these runs, but unless I have a very good one. Speaking of which, I'm not actually... That was just stupid. I turned around and ran when I knew the spikes would hit me. There's a chest down here. I'm assuming that I would need to be a dwarf to get to it. Yeah, I see the entrance and exit there. What is my spell? Oh, I leave a little counterpart there, and I can teleport back to it. That's interesting. Journal entry number 24. Lots and lots of dots. The prince has been left speechless. Poor, poor prince. He doesn't get to be the heir, which was his whole reason for coming into this castle and fighting for ages. And now he loses. Game over, man. Game over. I mean, technically speaking, if he kills his father, and that's an obvious thing, then he's not going to be able to be king. But if he doesn't kill his father has the fountain of youth on his side and isn't going to die, and that's obviously not good for him. So I mean, he's in a bit of a pickle there, you know. I do know that I want to get access to the fountain of youth, so I'm going to be happy when I get my character through to there, because I got no reason to not kill the king. In fact, that may even be the prologue section, was someone getting into the fountain of youth and killing the king. Wait, did I just realize what that prologue was all about? I might have. Sage sword, that's awesome. We could use a new sword. But I think I may have just figured out what the prologue was all about, which is kind of cool. I'm just going to take this room a little bit at a time. And then suddenly spam! Spam attack! Spam attack! That went very well. Gave us some health back from our vampire room. We didn't take a hit. We got a bunch of gold out of it. I am happy with the way that room went. So let us go ahead and teleport now. We want to jump back to the first room of the castle here. And now we're going to go fight some easy enemies who are both not going to do much damage and be easy to kill. We're going to get our HP back to full, and then we're going to see if we can't take this boss on. And that coin isn't worth it. There's too much risk I'm going to mess up that jump and run, and it's just not worth the effort. This guy did hit me, unfortunately, because I forgot that they can shoot through walls in certain circumstances. And let's see now. Defeat all enemies for a fairy chest. You got it, game. You got it. I got no problem with this objective. Well, there is one at least somewhat difficult enemy in here. Whoop. That was foolish. Oh. The good thing is that we have a lot of rooms left on the castle. We got at least 2 chickens left by way of the statues to the dungeon in the forest. So we can guarantee that if we explore enough, we'll get that. We get a siphon rune for our bracers. Thanks a bunch. Siphon rune is probably the least useful rune that you could have given me. I have a feeling this is an enemy painting. It's not. So that was just about one of their games. I would sit there and read it, but it would take a while because there's a lot of information about their old games in there. You know what, let's just do this. Use up a little bit of MP. Run through here. It's probably not worth it, but now I'm I'm a bit over 5,000 gold. Oh yeah, we have 3 chickens guaranteed because there was the one right before the boss room. So if we find the darkness and the forest, we will be more than capable of getting back to full health just from the way of the healing items that we have available to us still, although I took some more stupid damage. But I think as a whole, oh my god, I just walked into him because I thought he was going to die in one hit. I think as a whole that we're going to be able to get back to full health before we have to go take on the boss. Obviously we don't want to go down here. That'll be hopefully next episode, because we are making some progress here. I'm understanding the boss well enough where I think I can beat him. It's just a matter of if I have the health and damage to. Hopefully we're going to hit a lot of critical hits on the boss. That'll speed things up immensely. Once again, we're going to be trying to use our mist if need be to avoid damage when we get there. Took some more damage. See, the problem is that I'm so cocky in this area that I keep taking damage. And it's really going to make this Maya boss fight a lot harder than it would have been otherwise if I can't get myself to full health because I'm being stupid. So we do have a few more rooms we can go to in search of some more, just go faster. I hate you. You're a horrible, horrible spike ball. And nobody will ever love you. There we go. Skeleton almost hit me with his bone. Did hit me with his bone while I was killing his friend. Mana potion doesn't really help me. I mean, like, really, I could use more vampire runes. It would make things like this much more effective. But we're doing okay. We are at higher health than we had when I started my quest to fill up my health. Not by as much as I would like, but by a non-zero amount we're higher. There we go. Which I guess by the literal definition of the word higher, it is a non-zero amount, but we're going to work our way back up there because there's at least one more room that we haven't explored up by the teleporter to the Maya. It's going to be quicker to just go up there than it would be to go back to the teleporter, teleport there, and then run down. So we're going to go up this way and then to the right and down. This is probably one of the last couple rooms of the castle. That was close. And we got this guy, this one. Okay, so I do believe that we have explored literally every room of the castle area. So we're gonna go into this boss fight with 198 of 251 HP. We're gonna be banking on critical hits to do a lot of good work for us. We're gonna go up this way, up this way. See, this is why I always like going to the teleporter rooms when I'm going to be going to a new area. Is because it does allow for things like this to happen. So this is a bit of a long episode, but we're about to fight the boss. Let's see how this goes. Here we go, Giant Ghastly Ponce de Leon. I mean, I guess in a way he got his eternal youth. He's a flaming, floating ball in the sky now. Seems pretty eternal as a ghost goes. So he's going to start off chasing me consistently. I'm going to need to strike and then back away. And he's going to start coming after me like that, where I'm going to be able to have a couple seconds to hit him before he attacks again. And he's going to surprise me by starting to move normally again. These critical hits are big. I can't understate that. That was close. I've got to say that I do love this boss music. This is actually one of my favorite tracks in the game so far, now that I started paying more attention to it. Oh, I didn't notice that spike ball. No! I'm so close! Just die, Ponce de Leon. You failed. You are not the owner of the Fountain of Youth. Yes! We got him! We did it! Oh my god, we got him! Oh. Oh man. Look at all that gold we just picked up. Holy shit. Oh my god, we beat it. We beat him. I did not think that was going to happen that run. After I took that stupid damage against the spike ball, I thought that I was going to die. But the critical hits of the assassin. Yes. Party it up. Join me, Mr. Black's Shadow Me. Help me celebrate. Help me celebrate, Mr. Shadow Me. Look at that. I am just hanging there in the air like I am the champion. And I can teleport and be myself again. And we're going to get 2 magic damage increases, 1 strength increase. I will take those gladly. And this is going to open the 3rd of 4 slots on the door. So we are finally able to check out the dungeon. We're going to keep going until I die on this episode. It's going to be a bit long, but we might as well. So let's teleport down to our dungeon entrance here. We don't have a lot of health. I don't hold out hope to last very long. In fact, I might not last much at all. But we can at least get an idea of what we're going to be up against down here. That was close. And there we go. That's the end of the run. That was intentional. Thank you guys for watching. That was an awesome run. I am extremely glad we finally beat Mr. Ponce de Leon. It took us, what, 4 or 5 tries and a little bit of grinding to get our health up to make it happen. But we finally beat him. And so from now going forward, our goal is to head down to the dungeon from now on. Literally going the exact opposite direction we were going before. And see how long it takes us to beat the Dungeon Master. Hopefully not going to be very long, but we will see. It's been kind of rapid progress the past few episodes. We did, take a while to get to everywhere, but I think in, like 4 episodes, we've now beaten 2 bosses. So that's pretty good. Thank you guys all for watching. As always, any kinds of support for the stream, like likes, comments, subscriptions, is much appreciated. I will be back, as always, with another video going forward. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's been a very fun run, in case you couldn't tell by my cheering when I beat the boss. Thank you all, and I will hopefully have more for you tomorrow, as far as I know at this moment, with how many videos I have backlogged. The state of 1 video per day is at least 1 video per day is going to be ongoing for the foreseeable future. So yeah, we will be seeing you next time. Have a good night, guys. Bye.